Crew. All right, we're here to talk about Skeleton Crew. Man, we're just getting right into the spoilers, eh?
Yeah.
So, if you're listening to this and you haven't watched Skeleton Crew episode 6, I suggest you press pause, go back to TV, watch it, come back, listen to us. We're going to break it down and throw out some spoilers on the episode. But firstly, what we always do about this time, what we all about to do about this time is do our WesWes recap. What the hell happened recap. Here we go. Season 1, episode 6, Zero Friends Again, directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, which is Ron Howard's daughter. Written by Mayang Joe Wisner. Jod and SM-33 are captured by the pirates. The pirates take Jod and SM-33 back to Brutus for execution. The children slide out of Reynolds' lair at the bottom of the resort. KB tells the crew she has memorized at Atson's coordinates. The kids then argue over how to reach the Onyx Cinder, which results in Fern and Neil trying to ascend the mountain, while Wim and KB follow a group of seemingly trash crabs to find help. Jod manages to talk himself out of execution in exchange for the location of Atson. KB's cybernetics suffer a malfunction from corrosion, forcing Wim to fix it. Fern and Neil recover the Onyx Cinder and save their friends before a giant trash crab can eat them. The ship is pinned by a garbage machine, forcing the children to purge the hull, revealing a sleeker ship beneath as they depart Lanupa planet. And that was your WesWes What the Hell Happened recap. Favorite scene, Us?
Favorite scene? Probably when John came out of the bottom of the hotel with the pirates in it. I thought that was correct. This was one of my favorite scenes. The other one was with the ship separating, the front piece separating from the main piece. That was another very interesting part. It almost looked like a bloody X-wing, kind of. But the wings, yeah, it kind of looked like an X-wing. It looks something familiar from Mandalorian. I just can't remember seeing it where. That was kind of strange. But yeah, that was cool too.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that scene, the first scene you mentioned, when Jod comes out of the manhole. So he's covered in all the jewelry and gold and all that, eh?
Yeah.
And he sees the hosts, and they're just standing there, and he's thinking, "Oh, I can get out of this," but he doesn't realize that they're actually being held at gunpoint, eh, by the pirates that didn't go down the steps where they got killed by the acid. Remember when you filled them with acid?
Yeah, it might have been some of them, eh?
Yeah, so it was Steve Urkel. He was up there, and he sort of tells Jod to get in the ship. We're taking you back, and that was when the X-wing show up, eh? And that was pretty cool, eh? That scene.
Yeah, fire right. It's always a badass scene when they show up, eh? The policing the universe. That's critical.
Yeah, so at this point, the New Republic, so the X-wing, the Republic, they send out their troops on the X-wings, and they're like the police, eh? They're sort of like the cops.
Yeah.
Of the galaxies that go around trying to do order. But yeah, it was pretty neat how they showed up again. And so they shot one ship down, eh? They shot one ship down. The kids down below, they see it and they look up, and that was pretty cool too. How Wim was like, "Whoa, look at that!" Like,
that's right.
And then the owl chick, what's her name? I forgot her name, but
Kim.
Yeah, I think it was KB or Fern. They said, "Oh, I think Kim called them X-wing."
Yeah.
And then that's when they realize, "Oh, they're shooting the pirates. They must be the good guys." That was them there. So man, I love those kids bits, eh? And Wim, man, Wim is the epitome of every kid has an imagination that sees things come to life. Because, man, the thing I remember when I was a kid, watching these kind of movies, like being excited to what I see on the screen.
Yeah.
Like when Wim says, "Whoa, look at that!" Like that's how I'm feeling when I'm watching something. I remember when I was a kid watching something real cool on the screen, whether it be Superman or Crawl or something, that I really enjoyed. Return of the Jedi, watching it as a kid, like, man,
same reaction.
But yeah, did you get anything out of that scene in particular?
Um, what do you mean?
Like the scene you liked when Jod came out of the manhole?
Yeah, no, I was just cracking up how he just came out. Thought we would get away with it, but it didn't realize
Yeah.
Brutus was, already had some more henchmen up there.
Again, something Han Solo would done, eh? Would have
Yeah,
said.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
got
It was
a
pretty
lot of
close.
attributes liking to Han Solo. Eh?
Yeah, hold on.
The second scene that was your favorite was probably my favorite when the ship, because I had no idea there was a ship underneath.
Neither.
Because I was thinking, man, how are they gonna get out of this one? The ship's actually getting crushed. The front of it
Yeah,
is getting
it was like
wasted. Like,
it was getting fed into the
yeah,
crab thing, but man, yeah, it's separated.
it's separated, but I didn't expect it. So another good thing for great writing, eh? Like putting us on edge. Like
Yeah,
honestly, I did not know how they're gonna get out of there. I thought I knew they weren't gonna die, but how are they gonna save the ship? Look, I see the ship getting crushed. And another part of that scene that was real funny was when Wim went in the gun hole
yeah,
and was shooting and it didn't do anything.
yeah.
And
That's
he's
right.
like, "Oh
Oh, the
no,
tip.
that's invincible."
Yeah. That's why he used those words. It's like when you're fighting the boss on the game.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's invincible. The mother's invincible. It's funny we used to call the bad guys in those days. The mothership or the mother bad
The
guy.
mother, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
the mother's
have you
really
beat the
hard.
mother yet?
Yeah. It's invincible.
That's invincible. Yeah, and that's so Wim me. Like his reactions to spectacular things, and it's invincible. Oh my gosh! Like, you can tell he's watched too much cartoons or watched too many video games or whatever it was. Eh? He's been on his
No.
iPad too much. Eh? Watching all the those Jedi stuff.
Compared to Neo Lane, Neo's more grounded than him.
Mm. Yeah, so I was pretty sad that it ended how it ended. Like I wanted some more, but now we'll get some more next episode next week.
Yeah, I'm just glad they've left their planet. They didn't let it drag on too long.
Mm.
So I'm glad they left the planet.
Yeah. Another thing I like about this episode was more characterization, especially between the kids. Now we talked about before on how we thought what might happen in the storyline. Like we knew Jod would one episode betray the kids
Yeah,
so badly that they'll be separated or whatever it was.
and they have to
And
fend
that
for
did happen.
themselves. Mm.
But
And there
then
was
we didn't quite mention the kids will face their own conflicts with each other, and this what this episode was mainly about. The kids finally had a conflict and split up, which they did. So it started with KB and Fern having this argument, and then the four of them splitting up into two. So, and it's funny because Neil follows Fern, but
yeah,
I think no, because Neil did agree with Fern that the best way was to go climb up the mountain.
yeah,
Wim, I think Wim wanted to check out where the crabs were going to go because he's into the adventure kind of thing, something easier. So he wanted to go see, and KB just went with Wim because she just didn't want to go with Fern. That was the only reason,
yeah,
right? So it's sort of the decisions were between really the decision to go follow the crabs and the decision to climb up the mountain was between Fern and Wim, and it suits their personalities. Fern is up the nuts, running it straight.
yeah,
She sees a goal, she runs straight to it, and the goal is to get to that ship. So her obvious choice was to climb up the thing, right?
yeah,
Wim, he's into like adventure and all that. He wants to explore, and he sees all of these crabs, these cute little crabs, and goes, "Wow, I'll follow these guys, see where it takes me." Like so that's why he chose to go that way. And plus, he looked up that mountain and said, "Oh hell no, I'm not climbing up there. I'm going to fall and break my bones." That's what he said. So that's the two personalities taking over those two decisions, right? So yeah, that was interesting. But the conflict was actually in between KB and Fern. Eh?
yeah,
Hmm. But I think that was my sort of reason for this episode. In terms of characterization, the conflict between John and the kids was obvious, but then I actually forgot about maybe the conflict in between the kids themselves. So
Yeah,
I
it
think
was
this
gonna come.
episode did a good job in doing that, putting that as well. And it was like a train, like you said, like jumping aboard the train. Like the first conflict was with Johnny leaves, then the kids have to find themselves too.
Yeah,
How about you? What do you think of this episode?
yeah. I think the same way. I think I thought of it the same way too, and it's good too because it wasn't that long. They had the conflict, they worked through it, and then they got over it, and then they ended up back together by the end of the episode, which was good. They got all that stuff out of the way for this, and it was good because he needed for that to happen in order the story to carry on. So I'm just glad they got all that lovey-dovey stuff out of the way. I'm not really into those kind of scenes, but yeah, no, it was good, and they had to happen. They had to happen to see more of the characters, especially KB. She was like she had a little breakdown, like, because she hadn't had any maintenance in a while, and she was pissed off because friends like doing all this, doing all that, thinking that like how she was saying, acting like that she can do it too, and I think that's why she was getting angry. Like she didn't get any maintenance time, and she needed the maintenance time to keep up with her. So it was only lucky Wim did all the made her a new coil so she could reboot it. Oh wow, get herself back together again. But she didn't really explain it to Wim until after she made sure that it worked, everything worked, the repairs worked. And she, relayed on everything to Wim, like, hey, thank you for saving my life. And he's like, what? he didn't know it was that serious. So yeah, no, yeah, those were pretty good scenes there with the kids in it. Also, crack up when they see the giant crab, and then Fern sees that, and then takes this opportunity to try and get their ship back, but then somehow gets their ship to come towards them. So that was pretty mean on her part. It's like the force was strong with her.
Yeah, scene when they all have a cuddle and they get back together. That was a pretty cool scene.
Yeah, that was funny.
Mm. Even the beginning when they were sliding down the slides, that was real Goonies, eh?
Ah, no, that's what I was saying when they were doing that too. I was like, whoa, shit, just like the Goonies. Even though there's a button slide thing, you can see it here. It's like a button slide. But man, who cares?
But on reflection, it does make sense now that the crab's there to kill, because if that trap up top, if you sit down in that chair, it sets off that trap, and you go down that slide, so
Yeah,
you eaten by a crab. I mean, that is the
yeah,
trap, right?
yeah, true. Oh, it must have been there for that, for that long.
Yeah, but maybe the crab was too far away. Maybe the
Yeah,
crab used to be up close, where the crab used to eat them straight away when they come out. I don't know.
yeah, true.
But nah, man, it was yeah. I was starting to think, to be honest. Oh, I'll ask you first. Like this whole episode, what did you think about it? What did you get out of it?
It was like it wasn't that great, but it was just like I think it was time, like how we were saying earlier, for the kids. I think it was time for them to. It was like their conflict, and then they resolve their conflict within the one episode, kind of thing. It was more focused on that than the main story, but it's moving the story along, I guess. Because John and them, they left the planet in search of Edson. Well, he's gonna relay the coordinates to Brutus. You know how he was pitching to his crewmates, and they were like, "Oh, okay, what?" And they were unsure if to believe him or not. And he was trying to explain, hey, you can find this treasure, and this treasure is unlimited. It gets made all the time, so it's the best kind of treasure. And Brutus is like, oh, okay. And then he relays the proof with that one credit that he had left. I don't even know how he had that one credit left. I thought he chucked it in the acid. But yeah, he convinces them, so we got that part. And now the kids have got like a partly new ship, which SM-33 told them never to push that button. So my guess is the front piece of that ship the attachment must have been a way to disguise that ship somehow. Must be something belong to somebody else. So I'm really guessing the owner of that ship is the supervisor on Atten. I'm not too sure. Yeah, there's just some. Yeah, I
That
think it's.
scene you first described is a scene I probably hated the most out of this whole series. Like to me, it didn't quite gel with the rest of the series
Okay.
because it seemed a bit cheesy how John was trying to convince his way out. Like I get the whole pirate code and all that. You gotta like give them a chance to
Yeah,
say stuff, but
was
it was
it
sort of like,
parlay?
man, it was sort of like
Like to
cheesy and
make it weird.
corny what he was saying. And shout outs to Cisa Gray, who's in this film too. She was the girl that John was talking to. So she's Samoan.
Oh, true.
Samoan actress. That's on. She's
Is
on
she
there.
the one that goes, okay, I'll bite?
Yeah, I'll buy. Yeah. So shout out to Cisa Gray there. But yeah, man, I thought that scene was so cheesy. It made me think, man, this episode sucks, man.
Man, I didn't even remember it until I started talking. And then like, oh yeah, that's right. It's that scene where it wasn't that. Well, yeah, it wasn't that great.
So for me, I was thinking, okay, this is probably the weakest episode of the whole series so far.
It is.
And
It
I was
is.
thinking, finally, a floor. And it took us 6 episodes to get there, right? To get to the floor. But actually, it actually made up, the rest of the episode made up for that. Like, I really love the conflict between the kids. I really love how they got the ship back and avoided getting crushed in that
Yeah.
garbage
And work together to get
disposal
out.
thing.
Yeah.
And I love the way that the aircraft transformed into a new sleeker version of the aircraft. So it's like their ship now. So it's like their fast ship. It doesn't smell anymore because all the ship that was on top that covered it was all the leftover stuff that happened underground. So now they're in a more sleeker ship. They're in a more faster. It's probably more faster now because it doesn't carry a lot of stuff. But they're in a proper ship, and it was cool to have them have that ship now. So, and the other cool thing was the kids are learning now, and they're learning and they're putting into practice what they learned. So right
Yeah.
through the series, especially with George was teaching them how to run the ship, and they were doing everything that they were told. They were taught from George, so that was really cool. I loved that. Even because KB will say, "Oh yeah, I saw SM33 press these buttons."
Yeah.
And Fred goes, "Oh, Neil, you sit here and drive the ship." And Neil goes, "Why me? Because you did it before. Go do it again." And then I was thinking, okay, I think Wim's going to go to the gun because that's the only thing that he knew. And sure enough, Wim goes to the gun. And I was like, cool, man. And KB, how she starts the ship, she whacks it like she whacked it in the beginning of the season when they took off from the first time. So it's cool to see the learnings of the kids come through. The experience of the learning come through, and they have to do it on their own, and they do it. So that's we talked about how this movie is a coming of age, and for coming of age movie, film, storyline to complete itself, you have to learn something, and you have to put it into practice in real life, and that's exactly what we saw, where they saved themselves from getting crushed at the garbage disposal thing.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love the completion of that sort of narrative there.
Yeah, because you are right. That didn't make up for the whole episode. It was so cool. Because at the end of it, even though it was a short ass episode, I was like, oh, no, that was cool. That's enough. And I can't wait to see the next one. How many more episodes after this?
2.
Ah, man. There should be some interesting stuff happening in the next. Man, just like there's more mystery than more questions. Need some answers to. It's getting really interesting.
Was there anything else in this episode that you had thoughts on?
No, I think that was it. It's pretty, not that heavy. Yeah, it's not a heavy episode. I actually thought John was going to gallivant around the universe with his lightsaber, but he lost. As soon as he gets the damn thing, he loses it. And it's like, fuck. But it's funny, those guys were looking at the lightsaber as well, like, oh, that guy had a lightsaber. But I don't know if they thought, oh, maybe he's they thought that he was a Jedi or something.
I think it was you or Calvin that brought up something interesting. I think it was Calvin, eh? The color of the lightsaber, or was that you?
Yeah,
We didn't
the
get to
white
see
one.
the color of it when he turned it on at the end of last episode previous, because it went to black before we saw
Yeah,
the color of that lightsaber.
when Jod was holding it, because
Yeah.
when Wim held it, it was a blue. It was a blue light
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
because
Blue.
he had it upside down.
Mm.
I wonder if he's gonna get. I wonder if Wim's gonna get another chance at that lightsaber or a different one. So cool.
So sweet. So now they can head straight to Atton. Looks like they're all gonna both be converging onto Atton because KB knows the coordinates now. They can go
Yeah,
straight there. The pirates. How do the pirates know?
I think Jod already knows the coordinates as well because he wasn't shocked when he saw the coordinates.
Right.
Like he didn't even like. Oh, let me write that down. He just laughed. He was just like listening to that pirate's story as the pirate was talking about it.
Mm.
You know, the hologram or whatever that you didn't see.
Mm.
And I think he recognized the system or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
So yeah. So if the
Nice.
X-wings and that are policing the galaxy, yeah, it is definitely the same time as the Mandalorian. So yeah. Yep. I wonder if they're gonna make an appearance, which I doubt. Be pretty stinky. I don't know. I think it might ruin it if they did.
Well, the penultimate episode will be next week, so I think a lot
Yeah.
of answers will be asked. Or a lot of answers to the question will be asked next episode, and then the finale will
Yeah.
conclude everything up. So yeah, I think they're gonna all arrive at Edson now next episode. So see what happens, and there'll be a climax at the end of that one, and then the final, the following week. So
Yeah, because I wonder if the parents I don't know if they're going to warn their kids or they're going to their kids. Because the last time we saw the parents, they were trying to figure out how to warn their kids where they come. I mean, like, hey, we're over here. So I don't know how that's going. They obviously don't want the supervisor knowing. So shit, yeah, can't wait.
yeah, can't wait. Too sweet, man. I think that's all I say.
Yeah, hold on.
Episode 6 of the books, and yeah, we'll find out next week what's gonna happen. So thanks, Eric, for jumping on. Hopefully, Calvin will join us next time when he
Hold on.
feels better.
Or that New Year's celebration.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So that's me. That's you. That's
Okay.
us. Till next
Sweet.
time. Bye.
Latest.